Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. And right now I'm on my way to say goodbye or see you later to a co-worker slash friend of mine, my man Tom. I think I mentioned him before. He's joining the Navy, 21 years old, has a good head on his shoulders. He's going to serve his country because he loves it. So shout out to you, Tom. I wish you all the best. I hope you studied. I hope you prepared yourself for some physical exertion because they got plenty of it in boot camp. You are going to push the earth and a whole lot of other things you've never even thought of, but don't worry, they have. Just do the best you can. Do exactly what you are told, and everything will be just fine. And it's funny, no matter what branch you're in, those of you who served, you understand what I'm about to say. But when you come home, I remember coming home from boot camp, 18 years old, a lean, green fighting machine that had the little, them little, what they call it, the dick root, the cum gutters right there at the waist, all that. When you come home on leave after boot camp, man, I remember looking at, civilians, just like, you motherfuckers have no idea what I just gone through. Now, I think Navy boot camp is shorter now. When I went through, it was 3.5 months of fun and adventure. What movie is that from? But it was 3.5 months. But man, when you get home, your chest is out because you just been through some shit. And that's one thing all branches have in common, no matter which way you went, how long you were in. Everybody has to go through boot camp, or some of the lesser branches call it basic training. But hey man, do your best, have fun, make some memories, and they're about to fuck you up. So, speaking of something else that was fucked up, but expected, was round one of the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, the confirmation hearings to get her to the Supreme Court, to be the 9th Supreme Court Justice, because we just lost RBG and her dying wish. Man, please. So, of course, let me address this packing the court thing, because I had never heard about this shit until this whole uproar about it. So packing the court, as I understand it, is right now we have 9 Supreme Court justices. You don't want to have an even number. You need that odd one to break the tie if necessary. So there's 9 Supreme Court justices, but if the Democrats win, they're going to do what's called packing the court, which means they will increase the number of Supreme Court justices. So let's say they increase it to 11. So there's been 9 ever since the shit started over 100 years ago, but they want to pack the court, which means they'll up the number, say to 11, and then those extra 2, they'll still have the odd number, but those extra 2 will be definitely not conservative and more democratically, have a more Democratic Party set of sensibilities. They'll definitely be more left-leaning than conservative. And we don't want that because they'll use the Supreme Court to basically shape the country the way they want it and cement their power forever. We don't want that. So leave it at 9. Get Amy Coney Barrett, or if she doesn't get confirmed, somebody else in there before the election. Because Obama did the same damn thing. These motherfuckers have amnesia, and their kind of amnesia is dangerous. Not the kind you see in the movies where they get another bump to the head and all of a sudden they remember shit. They have amnesia. This was only 4 years ago, 2016. Obama did the same damn thing when Scalise died. Didn't hear shit. They were so quiet about that, you could hear a rat piss on cotton. They didn't say nothing. But the evil orange man is doing it, so it's the worst thing since fucking, polio. So anyway, they want to pack the court. That's what that means. I didn't know shit about it until this whole thing started with Amy Coney Barrett. So day one of her confirmation, of course, they brought out the league of unextraordinary politicians. They went to the political cemetery and dug up Amy Klobuchar, I call her the mom from that 70s show. Google that shit. She looks just like her. They also saw Assaulticus on there. Cory Booker. I live in Jersey. No, you don't. And wasn't he the guy who threw somebody up against the wall and made out with them? You know, petty sexual assault shit. Believe all victims. Anyway, he was there too. Of course, it's a sham. This is a travesty. This shouldn't be done. They're asking her about, well, how would you feel about these cases on future shit that hasn't even happened? And Obamacare. And Klobuchar, she was like, oh, my husband, he got COVID. And if we didn't have Obamacare or no insurance, like, what are you talking about? Obamacare is unconstitutional. You cannot tell people, go with this government plan or you have to pay a penalty. You can't force people. This land is about choices and variety. And they act like nobody has health insurance. Almost 100 million damn people in this country who have health insurance that they're happy with. Why are you fucking with it? They would kick millions of people off of healthcare. What? Shitty healthcare that doesn't cover shit and it's expensive? Our bad. You can't force people to take your government option no matter what it is. That is unconstitutional. Shit, the way we're taxed is unconstitutional. So yeah, they should get rid of Obamacare, but you can't ask her about some shit that she might get into. You have to ask her about her past and her record. And then another thing, and I want to segue into something else, is remember when they showed a picture of her family and they were calling her and her husband colonizers because they had those two little black kids in there, those poor little Haitian children that were ripped from Haiti and shoved into a life of upper middle, damn near upper class. In America, you poor things with your overflowing pantries and top of the line education and love and support. Man, they really fucked those kids over. But they're always complaining about if you have a couple black people with a bunch of white people, oh, they just have them there for a photo op. If there's no black people there's not enough diversity. They're talking about, oh, all the judges Trump nominated, there were no black people. Look at this staff portrait. There's no black people. Look, let's go back to math, dummies, because people are all fucked up, but numbers aren't. Black people, men, women, and children are about 13% of the population. Has been forever. You know why? Because black women, even less than 13%, probably 6 or 7, definitely less than 10, they account for 1/3 of the abortions in this country. So out of 1 million, more than 333,000 come from this one small group. That's why our numbers don't grow. That's why you don't see this diversity that you fucking cry about, that keeps you up at night. We don't have the diversity because we don't have the numbers, because we keep killing ourselves. Do you understand? Any further questions, raise your hand and I will take them one by one. You don't have this diversity you cry about, and it should be diversity of thought and not appearance. How many black people out of that small pool do you think are going in to be judges, let alone Supreme Court judges or on the White House staff? There aren't a lot of white people compared to their population that do that. So you take less than 1/3 of the white population, which would be black people. So that makes even less of us that'll go into those jobs. So it's a game of numbers. If you're qualified, they will hire you, because having more qualified and better people on their staff listen to this, it makes it easier for them. So hiring the best helps them. I'm dying of cancer. There's an operation that can save me, but the only doctor that can do it is a Negro. No, thank you. I'll take my chances with death. Nobody's doing that. These wicked racists that you jerk off to every night that our country seems to be overflowing with do not exist. And I guarantee you the most David Dukiest of them all in that situation would choose that black doctor. That filthy Negro would be cutting him open immediately, because people want the best. All right? So not only that, there aren't a lot of black judges to choose from or a lot of black folk going into White House staffery, if that's a word. So if we get the numbers up and stop snuffing ourselves out before we get to the fucking sunlight, then maybe you'll see this diversity. You'll see more black politicians. You'll see more black judges, black actors, black teachers, and black every damn thing else. That's the problem, not racism. We don't have the numbers. So get married, fuck, and have kids. Case closed. If you do that, everything else will be fine. My goodness. Now, let's go into some more nonsense, shall we? All aboard. The USS Pander is leaving the docks. Hurry up. This time the captain of the ship will be Dove. And I don't mean the ones released at a wedding. I'm talking the soap company. Yes, Dove with the moisture and the 1/3 aloe shit. Remember the commercial? The moisturizer drops into the pool of liquid and it turns into a bar of soap. Yes, the soap company. They are now joining the fight against systemic racism and stereotypes. Thank God. Finally, the cavalry has arrived. Charge! Dove soap is here. Thank you. So I will put a link to this video. They made a commercial, man. A commercial. So they have these black men, they have their names and who they are. I imagine they're entertainers and athletes. That's how they appeal to black folks. They only do it because it works. So these famous black people are telling you that black people are unfairly judged due to unfair and wrong media stereotypes portraying us as gangsters and thugs in entertainment. Hold on a second. This reminds me, hold up, a little parched. Drink from my custom Jericho Green cup from my family for Father's Day. Anyway, this reminds me of Miss Paula Deen. You remember Oprah Winfrey's right-hand woman with buttermilk biscuits? Remember, she got in trouble because she may or may not have said the N-word a long time ago, and she catered some event where the black staff was dressed up as the help at some plantation wedding somewhere that nobody gives a shit about. She's not Dr. Paula Deen. I'm not coming to her for medical advice. She's a damn good cook. Teach me. So, remember all that bullshit? All the trouble that she got into? All that nonsense? I had a question. So you're mad at her for catering a wedding that had the staff dressed up as, I don't know, black help or whatever. My question was, and still is, who took the job? I mean, if it's so bad and racist, why'd you take the job? Why'd you take the gig? Because they needed black folks to fill these roles, to be servers at this party. So what about the black folks who took the role? I guess they didn't have a problem with it. I guess they didn't see it that way. So same with this commercial talking about the way black men are portrayed. Well, if you look at the roles in movies, somebody has to take these damn roles. They're not being forced to at gunpoint. You better help us continue this fucking stereotype. That doesn't happen. They do what's called a casting call, and you come in if you fit the description of the character, and you get the job and you get paid for it. Now, the way we're portrayed in the media, if we weren't committing these crimes, the media couldn't portray us this way. If we had more of us, there would be more of us doing positive things, naturally combating these stereotypes. Dare I say, they wouldn't even exist. You wouldn't have all these thugs and gangsters and pimps and shit, because they would have fathers in the homes to say, son, come hither. If I catch you hanging out with these thugs, I'm going to find you and I'm going to beat your ass. Don't worry about them. Worry about me. You ever heard your father coming upstairs? That'll make you piss your pants like the little boy in that movie Ransom. Remember when he heard the kidnapper's voice? He made a puddle. That's what your father does for you. But anyway, that's just silly bullshit that coons and sellouts say, right? So in this commercial, they're talking about it's not fair. Black men care about black women, and we care about our families and puppies and flowers and shit. Look, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I don't give a fuck. There's 3 people in this world who I care about their opinion. I make that 4. My kids, my 2 kids, and my wife. The 4th, I guess I'll say my boss, because I do need a job. Outside of that, I could give a shit. I'll take your opinions under consideration, but I don't care what anybody thinks about me. Last time I checked, it was my name and my wife's name on all of our bills. So when that changes, when you come to the financial table and contribute, believe me, your opinion will matter. But until then, it does not. That's the problem. I've mentioned this before. That's why all these Africans and Chinese people and Indian people and wherever the fuck else can come here and be successful in a generation, because they don't care about that shit. Boo. That's nothing to them. That's BBs off a battleship. Pew! It don't mean shit because they're focused and they don't care about that. We care about it too much. What do you think? Look at all this stupid shit they got on these athletes' jerseys. Respect me, talk to me, hold me, fuck me, whatever. I don't need that from you. But I'll put a link in the description box. You can watch this bullshit. This bullshit commercial. And they're talking about stereotypes, like black people have a monopoly on stereotypes. Everybody has stereotypes. White folks, Asians, Mexicans. Remember? I'll put a link in the description box for this shit. Remember that cartoon, the Looney Tunes, yeah, Speedy Gonzalez? Arriba, arriba, epa, epa, right? Mexicans are supposed to be lazy. Remember his cousin? Hi, Speedy. My name is Lopo Rodriguez. Remember Slowpoke Rodriguez? Huh? You mean to tell me that's not a negative stereotype? It happens to everybody. And I'm going to try to find the episode where Slowpoke Rodriguez is singing La Cucaracha and it's all slow. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Oh, that shit's so funny, man. Them old cartoons are funny as hell. And they were packed full of racism. They had cigarette smoking, alcohol drinking, firearms. I remember one Tom and Jerry episode where Tom was trying to impress this other female cat. And he had Jerry in his holster where the gun would go. And he was rolling a cigarette. And when he went to lick the cigarette, he pulled Jerry out of his pocket and squeezed his neck till his tongue was sticking out. And he used his tongue to lick the paper. And then he rolled the cigarette, flipped it in the air, and then shot the cigarette with the gun and lit the tip. And then it landed in his mouth. Man, I miss those fucking commercials. Cartoons. The point is, everybody gets stereotyped. It happens to everyone at some point. Look at dads. That goes across racial boundaries. How are we portrayed in commercials, huh? I remember that cartoon, Bobby's World. His dad came outside of the house with his damn necktie hanging off his forehead. Every commercial, the mom, she's holding shit together with her denim button-up shirt and her sleeves rolled up. And dad's this hapless moron about to walk outside without his fucking pants on. Honey, oh, thanks, honey. And the kids are like, Dad, you're stupid. Give me your money. Duh, I just go to work and make money. I don't know shit. We're always portrayed that way, so fucking what? I know it's not true. I'm not some dummy who just hands my paycheck to my wife and she does everything. I help in my home. I help with my kids. They're mine. So I don't want to hear this stereotype and change the way people view. I don't give a shit how people view me. I can't help out what other black men do. How can I give a shit about something I can't control? If there's black men out there fucking up my reputation as a black man, whatever the fuck that means, I can't control that. Therefore, I don't care. Oh, black man, it's negative. So what? Gives a shit. Worry about your family. Get married before you have a baby, and don't let her get an abortion. And there'll be enough of us to where you won't have to give a shit about this. Man, let me go over here and have a beer with my boy Tom before he ships off to the world's finest Navy. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone. Link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.